Today I'm going to try to draw this watchtower in Tavira, Portugal, and I think I overestimated my abilities. And actually, maybe that's not exactly it, because I feel like I could have drawn something just like this months ago. So I think the problem is complacency or cockiness, one of those, or both. The thing is, I drew this immediately after yesterday's drawing, so I was on a bit of a high from how well I did with the tree, that I think I thought this would be really easy. I had a very specific idea of what this would look like in my head, which I'm not sure has ever really been the case, and maybe that solidified image in my head made me feel like I'd already kind of done it. You know that feeling? I think the same thing, or sort of the same thing, can happen when maybe you want to do something, like start a project or start exercising or whatever, and then you tell some people before you actually do it. And, there's this little chemical spike from that alone. It makes you feel good to share the idea. But then that feeling kind of overrides the desire to go and do the thing itself. Almost like the reason you wanted to make the thing or start the program or whatever is to be able to show and tell afterward. But if you circumvent that, you'd sort of undermine the whole thing. Have you ever felt that? I have, which is why I don't tell anyone anything. Anyway, this kind of felt like that, like I'd already done it. And maybe my brain was thinking, hey, if the work's already done, let's clock out for lunch. And then I was alone and bad things happened. If you're enjoying this, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I'd love that. So yeah, as you can see, I started with the plant on the bottom left, which is where I first realized I was in trouble. First of all, I was spending way too much time over there. And second, it wasn't looking very nice. I was being extra cavalier with my line work, which showed immediately, so I slowed down. And the shading too was not very good. After a few minutes, my wife recommended I move on, so I did. And the next part wasn't half bad, or so I thought. It was the little wall that led over to the steps. Again, I was feeling quite free and relaxed, and like I had this in the bag, because it was already practically complete in my head. This was not true, and I'd actually led myself to maybe the worst part of the drawing, which incidentally is the whole stupid tower, aka the primary subject. Though before the tower itself came the steps. I didn't really pay attention to them. You may have noticed that I drew them as plain old steps going in one direction and not these fancy things that create this sort of wedge shape. So I tried to fix that by, drawing over them. And in that process, I utterly lost the plot. All sense of scale from this point onward goes right out the window. And for a while, I don't even realize it. I'm just sketching away, still clinging to that image in my head, telling myself it would only be a few more minutes until it materialized. Foolishness. I can't believe it. Ultimately, I just let this one slip through my fingers unnecessarily. This reference was practically made for me, and I botched it. At a certain point, my wife started giggling to herself, and eventually she asked what I planned on doing next. I laughed out loud, pulled myself out of my, myopic trance, and for what felt like the first time, really saw what I was drawing and how it was going nowhere. Near the end, my hand hovers over the paper, curious and distraught, not sure what to do next. And so I ended it. There was nothing left for me to do. This beautiful reference with a drawing in my head completely just dissolved before my eyes. And what I was left with was a messy, boring, inaccurate, flat picture of something else. And I guess that's where this one ends. I don't hate the drawing because I just feel nothing for it. It's like someone grabbed my hand and drew it for me. Strange. Anyway, I hope you enjoy watching this unfold, and regardless of what you think, go ahead and like and subscribe. I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.